Hello, this is Joyce, Notaspringchick. Ciao. Oh yeah, this is the Notaspringchick wrap-up of the ESPY gifting suites. This one was by a company, UPP, Entertainment Marketing. And what was unique is this one was held at Dodger Stadium. Now this was exciting because first of all, I've never been to a gifting suite at Dodger Stadium. So that was pretty unique. And then also it was for the ESPY. So of course, you know, you're crossing your fingers, you're going to see lots of athletes because it was just kind of a different setting. And of course, it was set in the Hollywood suite. So, are you ready? You walk in, you see the suite, everything's all set up. And oh yeah, just before you walk in, there's the Dodger Stadium Club. So not only did we get to see the Dodger Stadium Club, and I got to do an interview with Frankie Needles, who actually opened up his gift bag and I got to actually see what he got, which was a lot of fun. Because there's one thing is, media will talk to people and they'll give things to them if they want to, you know, because they're there for the athletes and they're also there for the media and the attention. But you know, the athletes and the entertainers, you know, they think it's Christmas.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, they really do. In fact, you know what? I had so much fun. See, well, actually, there were quite a few highlights. One of them is I got to meet Mr. Dodger himself, Tommy Lasorda, and we even have a soundbite from him. So we have that one coming up. Another person that I thought was so cute, it was Jose Canseco with his daughter. Because first of all, as Jose would say, he doesn't normally do gifting suites. He says, I get invited to this all the time. He said, but my daughter was begging me to come. And I looked at him, I said, how is she your daughter? She's got blonde hair and blue eyes, and you have dark hair. And he said, well, he says, all my family has blonde hair. He says, I happen to have dark hair. So anyway.
Well, he's aristocratic Latin.
So, I mean, he was such a pleasure to speak with, and it was really kind of funny because I've seen him before on red carpets and you talk to him. But here he's in an environment and he's waiting for his daughter. He said, I was done a long time ago, except my daughter's busy with her friend. And I know. And he says they love the technology and they're trying to see what they can get. So he was having, I mean, he was having so much fun watching her.
We do know that when the parents, we went to NAMM once, remember? And we can't tell you the name of the star, but he was kind enough to let me sit in with him while he's doing his interviews and stuff and playing music. And he wanted to know where his son was at. His had a 13-year-old son he took with him. And he said, it is simply, is there any place nearby that have half-naked girls? And they said, well, yeah, some girls are demonstrating. He said, well, go tell my son I want him back here. Because they take their families to these things if they can.
If they can, and they had such a ball. In fact, I was really surprised to see a few people. One is Greg Grunberg from Heroes came by. He also has a new movie coming out called Group Sex. He came by with two of his sons. Yep. And they were having a ball, you know, because you're in the box and you actually, you know, open up the doors and you can go out and take a look at Dodger Stadium. So, you know, he was the hero.
Yeah, it's got to be a neat thing, you know, to take your kids to something like that.
I mean, the kids are in heaven. I said, you're his hero. He's like, yeah, but, you know, here's the funny part is these guys, some of these guys are so serious about this and they really make a commitment because Greg was going through and talking to people. And I hear him talking to the guy that was with him and saying, yeah, I'm going to be on set. And it's like, he had to be on set in an hour and he was at the gifting suite and had just arrived.
But there's no way on earth.
Right, there's no way. And so then, you know, he's like, well, you know, I can be at set a little bit later. But he's there with his sons. I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, he's got his sons with him, he's got to trade off. So I think he was taking his sons with him to the set, but
yeah, they're stuck.
And then another one we saw, who actually, when this showed up on the tip sheet, because sometimes you have an idea as to who's going to come, it was Joe Montana.
Oh, he's a nice guy, though.
He was really nice. And the reason I say I was so surprised to see him is, I saw him at 5:30, and at 6 o'clock was a press check-in for his movie, The House That Jack Built, where he's supposed to be going. In fact, when I first saw him, I said, Joe, aren't you supposed to be at your movie premiere in half an hour? You know, at a different location. He says, Well, yeah, but I'm not going to get there at the beginning. I think I'll get there in a couple of hours.
He really wasn't thrilled about going to his own premiere.
So anyway, I feel very privileged because, of course, when the celebrities, the athletes, they come through these gifting suites, they are escorted around. They took them through all the things as quick, and I spoke with them. They said no interviews. And then I said, can I ask him? I said, I was supposed to see him at the premiere, except I'm here. And I said, can I get him at the end? So I was really, really fortunate. I believe I was the only one that had a chance to interview him from there.
Yeah.
So we got to talk to him about his movie. He also shared. Did you know he has a restaurant?
Yeah.
It's called The Taste Chicago in Burbank.
Oh yeah. Well, he is big on Chicago. I mean, anybody know the rock group Chicago? He might have had a little something to do with that at one time when he was a musician.
Oh, man.
I think it had to do something with the fact, if I remember the history right, he said, horns with a rock band, it will never sell.
Well, Chicago's done quite well.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to go on tour again because he's busy acting.
Yeah.
Right. So you're already seeing all these different people that I was able to speak to. Now here's the nice part. Okay, here's my other list. Okay, Dave Scott was So You Think You Can Dance was there, the choreographer. He was so much fun to talk to, and you're going to get to see him do a couple steps, and he's got some tips for you. Let's see, Jose Canseco, we mentioned him. Matt Green and Jarrett Stolz from the LA Kings. Yes, the LA Kings hockey team, and of course, they have one thing to say, and that is, come out and watch us play. But they look like a couple surfer dudes because they are working out at the beach. I was trying to figure out which beach. Oh yeah, did they say Santa Monica? They were working out at, because for you fans that want to know. But part of it is, if you know Southern California, there's a lot of beaches out here, such as Manhattan Beach, and some of the other ones where actually Olympic athletes are out there. Yes, they do go out to the beach and they're practicing the volleyball because they've got the nets right there.
Yep.
So they're watching that. Let's see. The professor. I'm looking at this guy going, how can you be the professor? I said, you're not old enough to be a professor. Yeah, the professor of streetball. So anyway, we've got an interview with him. Let's see, Robert Ortiz with the New England Patriots. Okay, rookie, nice hands. Okay. But you got to catch an interview, and he's so sweet. They also came out with a new clothing line. It's artistic. It's like artistic creations, but there's only one scene. And there, .com is his line. DJ A Swift was there with Virtual DJ. We'll get into that one. Ernie Hudson, you remember Ghostbusters, and Ernie's been all over the place. I keep thinking of him from Star Trek. He was not in Star Trek.
No, he plays a lot of commanding military types and police officers nowadays.
Yeah, and he's just a really, really nice guy. Brandon Mullally was there. Now, Brandon, you're going, who is that guy? Does that sound kind of funny? Brandon's an actor. He was in Reno 911. He's also in, let's see, he's got another movie that's coming out. Let's see, it is he was in The Longest Yard.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon is tall.
Yep, he's the tall guy that gets out of the cars in Reno 911.
Well,
real tall one.
And he's going to tell you about his favorite moment from Reno 911. But part of it is I'm filming going,
No, he's the guy that I think they always make fun of, that when he got out of the car, he just kept getting out of the car.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he has such a great sense of humor. Robbie Jones, the actor, was there, and I mean, that was part of the talent. Lou Ferrigno was there earlier in the day. Sorry, I missed him, but we do have footage of him from the Night of 100 Stars. Yes, I got to touch the Hulk.
Yeah.
His pecs. I know, does that sound corny?
But he's also a super nice guy.
He is incredibly nice. And he was there. I mean, there were a lot of people that came over to the gifting suite, and the people were all really, really nice. There were a lot of football players that were there. Oh, maybe because it's off-season, huh?
Yep.
You're not getting baseball players.
No, because it's that's a shame that you can't.
I know.
When I was told specifically once that ESPYs were held at the wrong time of the year because the majority of the athletes can't participate.